Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Baki, episode 12. Last time on Baki, Dorian started losing. He did his hypno bullshit on Doppo, and Doppo was hypnotized, but the way he thinks, he doesn't believe that a fight could be that easy, and he doesn't take joy in mercilessly pummeling a weak opponent. So he ends up imagining Dorian doing the exact same things that real Dorian is doing, and then fights him and beats the crap out of him, and then is awakened from his hypnosis by Retsu clapping, and then nothing changes and he's not even aware that he was hypnotized. Waves hand. Okay, so now Dorian is on the losing end, and he's said some stuff about, oh, maybe you could be the one to show me defeat, and stuff like that. Okay, cool. So, maybe we kill Dorian, or, you know, retire Dorian. In the meantime, Baki here is hanging out with I forget her name now. The grill. The only grill. Literally the only girl in the show. Yeah, so they're hanging out and being lovey-dovey, and Yujiro is watching. Ominously. Have to add the ominously, like, go, 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 go. He's being ominous and spooky scary, so we'll see how that turns out. I don't know if he'll do anything. I get the feeling he's just watching Baki, at least for a little while. Maybe later we get some Yujiro stuff, but for now I think he's just observing. Like, what will you become? Will you become a monster? Like me, probably. But you know, like a nice monster who's cool. I would expect that we get Doyle before that. Because we need Doyle, and we need to deal with Yanagi Ryuko, because his fight was never resolved. But anyway, that's all we have set up at this point, I think. I think that's it. So I'm expecting this episode takes a few minutes, wraps up Dorian, and then transitions into either fillery stuff or whatever the next major fight is. And I assume / hope that the next fight is Baki-centric, because he's out with the grill and in public, and that's a perfect chance for somebody like Dorian to come and attack him. We've seen that Dorian doesn't care about public. Not Dorian, Doyle, sorry. We've seen that Doyle doesn't care about fighting him in public. He's totally willing to fight him in the school, anywhere, so that makes sense. That would be good. But it'll probably end up surprising me and doing something totally different. In any case, let's get into it. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be watching the timer-based version, because I can't put up the regular versions on YouTube. There will be a full version, full picture-in-picture, like everything else on my channel, for the last number of weeks. There will be a full picture-in-picture version available for Patreon supporters. In any case, if you like this video, like this video. If you're not subbed and you want more like this, there will be more and there is more, so you can do that. And if you are subbed and you're not being notified that my videos exist, the bell is supposed to be able to help with that. And if you really like this content, or you just want to support this channel so that I can eat, or you want the full picture-in-picture version, patreon.com/Teeaboo. It's a thing, it exists, and also get access to the Discord, because, you know, it's the Discord, it's pretty cool. Okay. If you're watching on YouTube, the timer goes here. Ba-boom. I've gone back to the Vaughn subtitles, because the other ones were pretty crap. Usually there are subs for this. Oh. I didn't have them activated. There we go. Yeah. Yep. Dorian be losing. What, catching a blade like that? Ooh. That was nice. Hey, that was cool. Wow, he is shattering his ribs. And he is busted. Ooh. Hey, that's pretty good. Oh! I don't think you've been defeated yet. Does he refuse? Wait. That's a hell of a blue ball. It's a hell of a blue ball. I think he's fine. Not fine, but gonna get up and kill or beat the shit out of Dorian. Bruh. Snap you like a twig. Eh. No, 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 no. This goes far beyond what you think. Doc. You don't know shit. Oh, he's glowing. Holy crap. He's not conscious? Wow, he's not conscious. He just wants to just... Ah, that's great. I still really don't like this. In terms of plot, and I'll talk about it at the end. Oh, he's glinting. Hey, that's pretty good. Are you gonna double blue ball? Double blue ball. Enhance. Enhance. It's a bomb? A battery? Oh. Uh-oh. So this is why they've blue balled us. How are you, walking? Ah, braces. Somebody else is waiting. Ooh, we got the music. Ha! Fuck my door. Does he have his wife? Oh. Was that the explosive in his arm? In his other arm? It's like he's singing a number from a musical. Holy crap, his face is blown up. Oh shit, his face is blown up. Looks like a medical doll. Dopo, you should have just punched him. Should have just taken him down. Alright, back to Baki, yeah? Oh, this music. Cute awkwardness. Hey girl, you want some fuck? Hey, she wants the D. I'm sorry to be crude about this. It's just kind of funny. Oh, okay. Okay then. Blood. Oh, he's got that glint now. I don't know, Dorian, what do you think strength is? It's a pretty good answer. It's also a pretty good answer. It's a good point. I'm gonna snuff that shit out real quick. Yeah. Kaioh versus Kaioh. The rules don't matter anymore. Whoa. That was an interesting sub-choice. Damn, he really doesn't have a wrist. That is a lot of police and fire vehicles. They have Dorian in the back? That is correct. He's given up. Oh, he's retarded. Okay. What? 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 Reverting him to a childlike state. Yeah, right here. Just sit in this chair with the little electrodes on it, and there will be lots of candy for you. Now put this rope around your neck. Ah. 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 Who is waiting for you? Baki through the window? We just had the setup that the window exists. Yujiro? Or Doyle? Could be either. It's a nice doggo with lots of scars. Probably. Thunk, 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 toki doki. Why do I have a feeling that's not Baki? Nope. Nope. Mm-mm. Nope. Shit's ominous now. Stay away from that window. Nope, don't. Nope. Baki Janai. Hello? Fuck, it's that dude. I forget his name. Yes, I understand perfectly. I will be quiet. Baki! Yeah, you don't actually have time to yell. Ah, okay. They fucked these subs up. It would actually be a really cool effect if it was spread out properly. Okay, so I said I would talk about it, and I'm going to talk about it. The first thing was the decision to not have Doppo do the thing and finish off Dorian. Just from a pacing perspective, that was a really bad idea, because it was a cathartic moment that should have just been done and ended there. Now, obviously, for the story that they were going for, they didn't want it to end there because they wanted Dorian to sort of linger as like an ominous force and eventually be taken down by Retsu. Who, without stating that he will do so, throws away the reasons that he had previously for not fighting Dorian, and without stating why. We're left to assume that, which is just to assume, like, oh, it's because Dorian hurt Doppo. None of that's stated. It's left to be assumed by the audience, and that's shit. That's just not good. Yeah, so Doppo holding his punch so that Kato could have his revenge. There was no reason to do that. Because Kato is not a character that, in the context of this series, we care about at all. I know that he's a past character, but in the context of this series, we don't give a shit about him. He's a one-off and busted. Now, they pulled some really cool scenes out of it. The scene where he, like, lights up with fury while he's unconscious was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. That doesn't make it good writing. It was still really shit writing. Dorian wakes up in the hospital and goes, and we established that he's got bombs in his wrists. So, of course, Chekhov's gun, right? Bomb in the wrist. He's going to use the bomb in the wrist eventually in the episode. Oh, look, he used the bomb in his wrist eventually in the episode. Shock. It's not bad, but it's not good either. He stands over Kato for a little bit. Says some shit about how this is the final blow and then doesn't do anything to Kato. Jumps out the window. Now, if we find out later that Kato is dead because he was strangled in his sleep or something, then I'll be a little bit happier. But as far as I can tell, he did nothing. He just proclaimed his victory because you let me stand by your bedside, and then he jumps out the window onto his broken legs. Then he limps away, gets to Doppo's house, fucks with his wife somehow. We don't know what he did with his wife. Unexplained. Explodes Doppo's face. Pretty cool. And then wanders away. Doesn't finish the job, just wanders away. Like, he could have finished the job, and then the whole thing that Retsu says about you never once were victorious wouldn't have applied at all. So none of Dorian's actions in this episode really make sense for him as a character. And a lot of the other characters make a bunch of actions in this episode that don't make sense for them as characters. Doppo shouldn't have stopped his fist. None of them should have thought that Dorian was actually defeated when he said he was defeated. He has a long history of lying and bullshitting and doing anything to get out of bad situations. That was a bad situation, and he got out of it. Why'd they let him live and not confine him and not anything? Just anything. There's no reason for it. It's so that the story can progress and so that they can tell the story that they wanted to tell, and that's what we call contrived. That's bad writing. It was set from the outset that Dorian is going to do this, 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 and this, and so all of the other characters' actions have to fall into line in order to make that happen. And it doesn't make sense. When you write a bunch of characters interacting and you do it well, they interact naturally based on their established personality traits and their established modes of action, right? Their modus operandi. None of the characters really did that. Okay. Now, I'm ragging on it, but this was a pretty darn good episode. The fights were pretty good. There were a number of scenes that were striking visually and interesting. There was no CGI, which was great. Praise the sun. It was pretty good, but it wasn't that good. It was okay, but it wasn't great. The writing in particular was really lackluster, which is really unfortunate because the writing in the more fucked up CGI fight scene episodes has actually been better. And this time it's like the effort that went into the writing disappeared and went into the animation, and it's like they can only do one at a time. Since like episode 5, they haven't been able to do both at the same time. It's like, the stuff with Kozue and Baki was fine. It was perfectly passable romance. But it was also extremely, extremely immature. Let's call it immature romance and immature picture of sexuality, which I suppose you could argue makes sense for the characters themselves being immature sexually, but it's still a little bit irksome to me. Just felt a little bit unnatural. I don't know. The initial bout of awkwardness that we got from their conversation where they're like both saying each other's name at the same time and then stop and then neither of them can say, I want to go to your place or come to my place. That was pretty okay. The kiss and the line, like his tongue, I don't understand why that was necessary. It just didn't do anything for me. In fact, it took me out of the episode a little bit and was like, oh, this is writing and it's not very good. I guess it's just set up so that we can have this spooky reveal of, what's his face? The Russian guy. I don't remember his name anymore. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, he has now threatened the grill. So he will have the fury of Baki coming down on him. I assume. Every time I've thought that so far, I've been completely blue-balled by the show. We haven't actually had Baki actually fight anybody. He fought Yanagi Ryuko. Like, we got a bit of a cool scene when Ryuko was swinging the scythes around and Baki was dodging him and fighting him a little bit. But other than that, he got knocked out real fast in that fight by Ryuko's special magic hand vacuum powers. Okay. All in all, it was basically what I expected. We wrapped up the Dorian thing, and then we moved into the next fight. However, it's not Doyle, it's the other guy. And the Dorian thing took up the vast majority of the episode and was kind of dragged out, in my opinion. I guess they just really didn't want to transition into the actual fight stuff for the next fight, or like any actual stuff. They wanted to leave it on the biggest climax of that fight possible, so they can transition into it next episode. But yeah, Dorian's portion of this episode felt rather dragged out and meh. I feel like he would have. I feel like it would have had a lot more punch as a finish to the Dorian section if Dobo had just beaten the fuck out of him, just blasted his face in, caved his skull in, and from that moment reduced him to childlike idiocy, right? Because that's where he ends up at the end. But we had to resolve the whole Kaioh versus Kaioh thing, I guess, and we had to put a pin in Kato's arc, if you will. And so this is what we ended up with. Not a fan of dragging that out the way that they did. Other than that, it was all right. I give it a solid okay. Meh. There was no CGI. That's basically the best thing that I can say about the episode. There was no CGI. There were a couple of little hype scenes. Soundtrack's good. Soundtrack is always good. Anything else? Oh yeah, there were actually some good lines between Dopo and Dorian, where Dopo is not taunting him, but like he thinks he's won, and he says, "I've given everything to martial arts. You believe that martial arts have been given to you?" That was interesting. That was a little bit interesting to me. And then saying that the god of martial arts is a jealous god, and you have to sacrifice everything to him in order to actually achieve greatness. And you haven't done that. You think that it was a gift given to you, and because of that, you will lose. I liked that. That was pretty good. So plus 0.01 points for that. The episode went to shit the moment that that Dopo stopped his fist in front of Dorian's face. From that point, Kato arrives. Kato gets up while unconscious and goes to try and fight him. There's one cool scene where he like glows up and Dorian flips out. I mean, even there, if Dorian had just flipped that switch and become a child right then, that would have been fine. But then they like take Dorian to the hospital and don't confine him and just let him stay in a hospital bed in the same hospital as the guy who he hates and wants to kill more than anybody. It's just dumb. Like it's just not realistic in any sense. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Baki, episode 12. I hope you've enjoyed it more than I have, because I thought it was pretty mediocre. And I hope to catch you in the next one, and I hope it's better. Peace.